Hola Madridistas. Welcome to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast, where we preview the game against Getafe. And I have to, first of all, apologize for the sudden break in the streaming. I was just dealing with audio issues. I had to restart my system. But we're past all of that, Farooq. And how are you? You're
Yeah,
sporting a
man, I'm
new
good.
haircut. You're sporting a brand new haircut.
No, it's not a haircut, bro. I'm trying to actually get loose of the what you call the braids. I'm
Compress.
trying to loosen them. So it takes a bit of time because I have to loosen them myself. So yeah, I'm just going taking my time and doing it one row at a time, one row at a time, and then just get them all done once and for all.
Right? All right. So a lot of players, I feel like they the Getafe game is just a distraction for them, and for a lot of fans as well. This is one game similar to the which was it before the Osasuna game that we had to deal with. Even that game, even the Osasuna game was kind of a distraction for us. But right now, we have to get the job done here in La Liga and just focus on Man City now. And do you think it's just going to be another Man City preview today?
I think, as you said before, any game before, all games before that game is always going to be a preview. Any game around that game is going to be a preview. I think you're referring to the Sociedad game as well, where it
Yeah.
was the one before Osasuna that, and it was also just
Oh
people
no,
weren't
it was
too
Girona,
focused.
was it, that we lost completely?
We lost at Osasuna as well. Sorry, at
Oh,
Sociedad as well.
yeah.
We lost at Sociedad. Like the Girona thing was a total, it was a 4-0 defeat or a 4-2 if I'm not mistaken. So
So 4-2, yeah.
it's yeah, but the Sociedad was a 2-0. So yeah, I mean, as you said, I mean, it's always going to be a preview for City before the around the City game. So there's nothing we can do about this, bro. The season is gone. The league is gone. Like there is literally no one who wants anyone to play that. That 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 game at the weekend. Honestly, we all just wish that there is no such labor and then directly to Wednesday again. So yeah, but then it is what it is. We have to do them bit by bit.
Mm. I mean, the thing is, even though we can't like totally forget about La Liga, um, I don't know, man. It's just an opportunity for us to try a few new things because even we heard some rumors that Ancelotti was suddenly going to play a 4-4-2, which is very, very uncommon and for him especially.
But 4-4-2 is not very uncommon though. Like we've played a 4-4-2 a lot last year, though. Now I remember playing a lot of 4-4-2 last year when it was just
Valverde.
Vini and
Mm.
Benz up top. Exactly, yeah. So I don't think it's a way. I mean, this is it. Like all. I mean, our high stakes games last year has always been 4-4-2 now. So just that like it's been shown like a 4-2-3, but it's honestly a 4-4-2. Like with Valverde being a winger, a right midfielder, and a right defender as well. So it's I think it will take something in similar veins as well. So
Mm.
yeah, it's nothing new, honestly, and it goes back to that point that I think where the fans will start to make the claim that okay, like we need some impetus from the bench, and there is at least last season we've seen what Calvin and Rodrigo could give us from the bench. So when you go to a flat 4-4-2 now, at least you get Rodrigo to you have the option of Rodrigo on the bench,
Yeah.
and then what happens with Camavinga, I really don't know about that honestly. So that's the thing.
Well, according to like the leak, do you think it was an actually legit leak that we would release a team sheet a week from the match? It said that Camavinga was going to play in the midfield.
I mean, the thing is that we've seen Carlo and like he really doesn't, care about this, team sheet like that because I know also I also don't care about that honestly. I mean, you can tell me your first 11 now and what. I mean, Iron Ruben was a lefty and everyone knew what he wanted to do, but no one could stop him. You understand? So the point is really, these things don't matter. Like as long as you guys play good on the day, you understand? That's what I always said to say like, oh, like he was always talking about the Liverpool assistant releasing a book or something. I was like, that doesn't really matter. Like I can literally show you my playbook and show you everything inside, but if I play well, you can't stop me.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the thing. Like, I mean, Barcelona were doing the same thing. Okay, obviously they had Messi, but they were doing the same thing over and over for 5, 6 years, and no one could stop them. You understand? So there is nothing there about it, and I'm totally fine with the league. Just Yeah, I mean, I think you're talking about the league that says Kamavinga plays in the middle, and we have all three centre backs on the pitch at the same time.
Yeah.
I
Um,
don't know, man. I saw more and Sinead discussing that in the group as well. So it's an interesting proposition, honestly. So I mean, how that's gonna pan out remains to be seen. And always, I've always said this. For me, I believe it's not about the defensive individuals; it's about the defensive unit.
yeah.
Honestly, unless you have people like Ramos and Pepe in your team, you understand, or even Ramos and Varane as well. Like those were like guys who were used to playing hero ball, ISO ball, and for them a system never really mattered. But then when you come to players like Militao and Rudiger, like these are players that will shine fantastically when they're in a system. But when they play individually, that's why we see Militao, he's been good, but I'm sure like there were some fans even in the chat they were talking about his consistency. You understand? We
Yep.
laud him as one of the best in the world, but that consistency isn't there. It doesn't exist. Like he plays for very good for 5 games, and then in the sixth game there is a mistake. You understand? And even before he got suspended for this for the City first leg, he has not been in that outrageous form as well. He's been a bit erratic and what is and what is not. And the whole season of Rudiger is known. We don't need to say anything. But the performance he put on against Haaland, that also shows that he has that potential, to be a very good centre back, But the point is that maybe he needs someone around him in the form of maybe David Alaba. I don't know, he needs to be in a system like he was at Chelsea and at AS Roma before that. You understand? So these are the things, But for me, defensively, honestly, I really don't care about the individuals, or most I care about the system. You understand?
Yeah.
And one thing that is sure is that we actually don't have a system. So this is a big issue that I will that's what would scare me a lot. But I don't know, man. Honestly,
I
what do
mean,
you think about that?
okay, let's shelve that discussion. We'll get to that, but I wanted to ask you also about, you said Rudiger had a really good game. Was it purely because of Alaba in the back line? We didn't really discuss this in the post-match last time. Uh, do you think the occasion got to Rudiger? Like, do you think he was saving this performance for the occasion?
I mean, that's the thing. The club has a way of making players understand the importance of Champions League. You understand? Because let's not forget, like even Rodrigo came to age, in the Champions League game against Galatasaray where he scored 3 goals. When the team needed a win under Zidane, and he came up and he scored 3 goals. And the discussion has always been about the fact that there is no Militao, it's Rudiger against Haaland, and
Yeah.
everyone was really scared to shits, about what's gonna happen. But Rudiger actually, I want to put a lot of because I said this after the post game. Like, it's not a coincidence that all good things happen when David Alaba is there. You understand? So
Yeah.
I want to believe that it's not just a coincidence, but I just also want to say that Rudiger just reminded us as well that how good he can be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. You understand? There's a
It,
reason why
it makes
he
a lot
was
of
highly
sense.
touted.
Yeah.
He was highly touted in England. He was part of the PFA team of the season last year. He was in the Ballon d'Or rankings last year. You understand? So he's good. You cannot deny that he is good. You understand? But just the point is that he's finding it difficult to adapt to the team. So what was the reason for this performance? Honestly, I can't really say. But as I said, like this club has shown time and time again that they have this nous of making players wake up on the most important lines in Europe. So
Yeah.
that might be one of the reasons.
Yeah, man. And you were asking me about, hey, like, do you think if you totally switch up the defensive formation, will it actually change things? Even in a system, for me, I feel like the individual players do matter in different positions. So let's say we are going to go with the same lineup that got leaked. That means that Alaba is going to play at left back, right? And even if you, let's say, even if you were prime Bayern Munich and you had a totally good system, I would say the Riaz or Riyad Mahrez or even Bernardo Silva against Alaba is not going to be good. It's going to create countless moments of danger because Alaba, one, if he goes forward, he can't track back as well as Camavinga or even Nacho to a certain extent. And even if he's not the greatest one-on-one defender, right? And his influence on the pitch will be reduced, especially building out from the back, because it will be up to Rudiger and Militao to spray the initial ball up, and they're not good at finding people as much as Alaba. So I feel like even if we did have a system, that system would suffer if the individuals were played in the wrong position or whatnot.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I think It's just a month back. We played Barcelona with Marcos Alonso as a center back,
Yeah,
and we didn't have one shot on target. I think it was in 45 minutes or something like that. Marcos Alonso, who is a fullback, he's not even a fullback, he's a wing back as
yeah,
a center back. And the Benzemas, the Viniciuses could not have a shot on target. I mean, you play City with Manuel Akanji as a fullback,
yeah.
and Rodrigo could not have a sniff.
I mean, he did get past a couple of times, but then just the ball just didn't fall that way for it. Like we couldn't give Rodrigo a lot of opportunities to attack Kanji.
I mean, I'm just laying out examples here to you.
Yeah,
Understand? I'm
yeah,
trying just to tell you that honestly, like whether you like it or not, a very good defensive system works. And the point is, David Alaba is no layman. He's
yeah,
not someone who you picked up on the street and you ask him to do shit. Nah, I mean, we've seen that with Jules Koundé as well. Koundé was the best center back in La Liga for quite a number of years. He moved to Barcelona. They're playing, the back four with him as a right back.
yeah. That's true. Like, you do see players completely playing out of position, excelling, and Alaba certainly has the brains to do that. But I feel like it's going to be a detriment to what we saw on the last game against City's defense. Man, like at that point, I feel
What,
like
what,
that
what I
was
want you
us.
to remember is
Yeah,
that don't forget that Alaba actually has experience in this position. You understand? And I think I understand the feeling there, like in the sense that we remember the last time Alaba played in this position in a big game was in the round of 16 against Mohamed Salah at Anfield.
yeah,
And for the first 15, 20 minutes, he was torn to shreds. But I always said in that game that I don't think Alaba was the problem here. I felt that Alaba was isolated, and when you isolate a winger against a,
fullback.
a defender who is a center back, sorry, a
Mm.
fullback who is a center back, you're asking for crisis.
Mm.
You're asking for sure for crisis. But you could see that when Nacho came into the game, people were covering. Well, Fede was covering with Nacho with that position in the side. Tony
Yeah.
was covering with Nacho in that position. It wasn't they didn't leave him isolated there. Inside, I guess maybe the name David Alaba, gives you this kind of okay, like he can deal with this shit alone, understand? You just leave him there doing his thing all alone. Well, I personally, honestly, like, do I want that to happen? No. Do I want
Mm.
Kamavinga to play in the midfield? Yes. But the point is, you have to give something to get something.
Oh man. And we say we have ultimate backup in the team and a lot of squad depth, according to Carlo Ancelotti at least.
I mean, those guys are, I don't know, man. The only place they seem to want to stack is the midfield, and they forget about every other thing. I was saying, I forgot I don't know who it was. Was it Yedu or was it Javier that was writing about, Joshua Kimmich as well,
Oh
in,
yeah,
in,
it was
in there.
Javier.
I was like, okay, then. I mean, let's just forget. Let's just turn to a team that will play 11 midfielders, bro,
Yeah,
and even throw the keeper out. Just play 11 midfielders on the pitch, and you can be satisfied with that, honestly.
yeah.
So this is the thing, man. Like the lack of reinforcement, and that's unavailability, or I don't know if the right word is inavailability or unavailability of Ferland Mendy is what pushes us to this point, honestly.
Mm.
That's the reason why we're here. Like the man is not available, at the crunch time of the season. So what can we say, man? Honestly, we just need to find a solution to this. Honestly, this is just a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it remains to be seen what you said makes sense as well. But yeah, I feel like I just personally feel like we would suffer a bit. It is not the most optimal version of our defense, but then if we can get that bit extra bit in midfield, a little bit of legs from the form of Kamavinga, then I feel like it could be a win. But it remains to be seen just how Man City can deal with that.
Actually, so that's the thing. We are all here assuming that City are gonna play a proper winger against us and all what is and what is not. But I still feel like they might just again play with Bernardo Silva in that position and bring on the likes of Mahrez later on in the game. I don't know, honestly, I don't know because Pep is a really crazy man. He has the tendency to do
Yeah,
crazy things. So I don't know how that would be.
yeah. I mean, yeah, before we like head into the preview, let's read out a couple of comments. So Dennis the Great is here. He's the first one. He says, Hala Madrid, as simple as that. I guess he simply means that it's just a game to say Hala Madrid and basically just enjoy, not worry about things too much. Even if we lose, it's just what it is. and just move on to the next game. And that's it.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Isco 101 is here. Welcome, Isco, to the channel. He says, "Sup, guys? Hey, Isco. It's been a while since we've seen you, since your days in Sevilla." Yeah. And UUI2, I for you, also is here. Here we remember him from the City post match. So he's asking us, what will your lineup look like this game before the City game? I mean, that's what we're here to discuss for the preview. We didn't get to the lineups yet, but initially, our gut feeling is that a bunch of players will be rested, at least the positions where we have a bit of coverage at. So you can totally expect Benz, maybe even Vinicius, Rodrigo rested. Who else? Who else? Modric and
When
Cruz.
Vinicius and Rodrigo rested, then who's gonna play if Vinicius and Rodrigo are rested?
As
Vinicius rested, but Rodrigo plays. One of
mm,
them.
mm. No, I
One
thought
of
maybe
them.
even
What,
Hazard or Lucas Vazquez would work. But then I guess we don't have coverage for Carvajal in that point.
bro? See, you said it perfectly. We expect a lot of players to be rested. At least the position where we have depth.
Mm.
That last part of the sentence is it says everything. There's no need to make any summary anymore.
Yeah,
Where we have depth, we will throw them. The point is, okay, we can play Nacho, in defense. We can play Lucas Vasquez in defense. We can, Militao didn't play. Militao is back. We can put Militao there in the midfield. We can, put the Dani Ceballos, play Chouameni, whatever it is. You understand? So where we have, but we don't have that much as well. So that is the
yeah.
thing. But honestly, like let's not skip to the end because we always do the lineup towards the end. So let's
That's true,
reserve that
man.
for there. When we get the Isco, we will discuss it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Doris is also referring to the lineup she just said. Just no Benz on Saturday. He better not be playing. He should be resting. Same as Luka Modric. Totally, man. Yeah. And she also says Rodrigo will 100% start the game. Maybe instead of Benzema. I don't know how much that will help him against City. But we don't know if he's
Mm.
going to start against on the bench or in the starting lineup. Let's see. I for you also says, I think against City, you need your left back to push up if you're attacking. Because I don't think Vinny Jr. can go to the byline against Walker. Vinny Jr. coming inside will help your team.
So this is the thing, like we don't have a natural. I mean, in the days of the Cristiano and the Marcelo's, like what he said is totally perfect because the point is, when Vinicius goes in, Walker goes with him, which leaves a whole blank space here that either has to draw a midfielder to come in, and you can also attack. So it's all about interpretation of space, honestly, about that. You
Mm,
understand? It's all interpretation of space, but we don't have a fullback right now. You understand? The point is, Camavinga is doing what he can do. You understand? And being a midfielder, also he wants to drift centrally, which we've seen a lot in a lot of games. Like rather than running towards the byline, Camavinga will drift central. You understand? We've seen this a lot of times. Obviously, sometimes he goes down, hog the touchline and what is not. But the lack of that natural fullback there, leads to that, that lack of width. We don't have the width on the team, honestly. You understand? So
yeah.
even that's what I've always said. Like it doesn't really matter. Even if it's what's he called, Mendy. Mendy is not that Maradona fullback that we know, like like Carvajal is, or like Marcelo was before him, or like those before, like the Coentrao was back then. You understand? He's more of a very defensive fullback, and offensively he's quite limited. But yeah, so like that left back that uh it was it you two was talking about, it's not, we just don't have it. I don't think we have that tactical capability right now.
Mm, well said. No, not tactical capability, but in other words, we just don't have the depth. And
Yeah, we don't have the personnel. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he also reminds us, speaking about depth, that Carvajal got red carded in the last game, so he's suspended for the game against Getafe.
Cool, 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 cool.
It's
That's
all
good.
good.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Doris also says Carvajal wouldn't be playing that game anyways. He would put Lord Vasquez in the first man.
I mean, that's it. For sure. Like that's the for sure. Like I mean, if Vasquez is not playing these games, then why is he at the club?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things can be said for a lot of people who don't play in the club and still are at the club, but it is what it is.
Oh, valid point, man. Valid point.
Right, man. That's it for the comments for now. Do you want to like head straight into the La Liga game? Because I feel like this is one of those dead rubber games which can't be exciting any way you look at it. Because okay, so we have Sevilla coming up, we have Rayo coming up. Valencia should be a good game as well. But the Getafe game, it's almost dead rubber. They're just trying to focus on City without having any injuries or without having a really bad result. And it's just a game that we have to endure, like I said before.
Honestly, that's true. Like, it's a game that we just have to endure, and I think that's the right word there. At least in my opinion, endure is a very good word to define. To quantify like what we have to do. We just have to endure it. We have to get past it one way or another. We don't
Yeah,
even know how it's gonna be, but we just have to find a way past it. Honestly, and it's a game that I really, would want to, step past, easily without, breaking anything or, or, I don't know, getting anyone, suspended or also not also having a bad result because, honestly, like whether you like it or not, these kind of games, honestly, like will give you, obviously, they wouldn't improve your morale, but they have a chance of, throwing doubt in your mind. I don't
yeah.
know if that makes sense. So,
Oh, that
like I would want to,
yeah,
yeah,
makes total sense as well. But one more thing is that it'll give the substitutes a lot of confidence if they do have a good performance. The likes of Asensio,
exactly.
Tchouaméni, who's going to play Ceballos. If we can depend on those guys as well, like if we have to bring either Rodrigo or Camavinga on, that's going to change the whole outlook of the game.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, honestly, like that's also something like, but it's not just the subs that are gonna play in this game, you understand? Because we don't have 11 subs out there. We have, maybe five players, so which means it's gonna be like 5 plus 6, you understand? So
Yeah.
the thing is, imagine if Courtois is getting scored 3, 4 times past, that's that's gonna be something as well. I don't know what. I'm just thinking, out loud. If Militao comes and also has one shitty game again, considering the fact that he's been having shitty games upon shitty games,
Yeah.
so so that's the thing. Like these are things that will. I don't necessarily. I don't think it will, give confidence, but it can have an opportunity to create doubt. So that's why I really want
Mm,
it to be a game that we can enjoy and just move past and just because the thing is honestly like I've always said like it's so difficult to motivate this group of players for games like this on especially when you have a city game coming in I think 4 days after this game. Hell no,
yeah.
I mean you can't motivate them and I can't blame them for not being able to get motivated honestly because even similarly for me man I would always prioritize what needs to be prioritized honestly.
Yeah. Totally, man. But like you said, we just have to be concentrated and not concede too much. Like one or two goals, and if we have a decent performance, I'll be fine with that. But if three or four goals get past Courtois, then there'll be serious doubts on the team. But anyways, yeah. Do you feel like Getafe has the tools to actually damage us and put four past us?
uh if I'm not mistaken they have some strikers who score goals huh.
Yeah, they have
They have some goal
NSNL.
scoring strikers
Uh,
exactly they have I think they have. Uh, I forgot. There was a guy. I forgot the name of the
bro,
guy.
they have Borja Mayoral, and we know
Exactly. Mayoral. They have Mayoral. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, and we know what
yeah.
these ex-Real Madrid players do to us.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And the point is, United has 14 goals in the league this season, man. So he's one of the highest scoring players in the league. So they have people. I mean, the point. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that you could see, even with Tete Castellanos, man. Like, I mean, I mean, if you're gonna count players who's gonna score against, well, okay, it's at home, so maybe we're not gonna expect similar to what happened with with Castellanos and Girona, but I mean, but they have the people to get this kind this kind of things done. So like we have to be really careful and because even Maral I think has 8 goals. Yeah, I'm just checking here that he has 8 goals as well.
Mm,
So why not? And also let's not forget we have Latasa as Wami Latasa is also one of us as well in the past.
yeah, and some Barcelona
So
players just to throw it into the mix. So they have Munir, they have Carlos Alenia, d-
okay,
yeah, Arambari as well. Porto, I guess he used to play for Real Sociedad. He's on loan there. Yeah, there's a lot of quality players, and the problem is these players might be looking to put in a good shift against us because they're right now 18th in the league, and this might be one way to actually showcase their talent for scouts so that they can probably move to a better team next season.
That's very true, honestly. That's very true. Very, very true actually. So it's and also, these guys are fighting relegation 2-10-0, honestly,
Yeah.
So they will definitely want to show up, like obviously I'm not expecting them to come to the Bernabeu and try to dominate us on the ball, but that hitting us on the counter, getting very physical. Like I don't know if you can remember, but Enes Ünal is a very big player, he's a very physical player. So, you know,
I mean, the last time we
these
faced them, Militao looked rock solid and he could handle NSNL. He didn't give a sniff to NSNL. But this version of Militao, he kind of scares me.
That's the thing, like I said honestly. So uh, who knows? Obviously, I think Carlo doesn't tinker too much, but I was always thinking maybe this is even the time you play Jesus Vallejo as well. Give him a run. Vallejo and Nacho as the CBs. And whatever happens, happens. But I think eventually that's not gonna happen because that would be too much of a stretch.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, man. Let's see how it goes. But I'm just saying, like like this team has, that they have the weapons, to be able to, get something out of us, out
yeah,
of the game, or what is not, considering the fact that for them this is the must win, because I think they're on equal points with Valencia, and Valencia plays us next week, and they'll be thinking that, okay, if they can, if they can get something out of this, and if, because next week, uh either we're in the final or our season is over, you understand, by the time we play Valencia next week. So
yeah,
it's if we're in the final or our season is over, like it's still the same thing, because we will play the same players, because the final is still in June, which is a long time away from now, you understand. So we play now full strength against Valencia, and if they can make a draw from us here, and if we, able to defeat Valencia next week, like they are out of the relegation zone, bro.
yeah,
So, like they will sit and try to make these calculations here and there and try to see what is possible and what is not possible. So this is the thing, man. So I will never, discount this relegation battle, as honestly. They are really very tricky to play.
totally, man. Yeah, it's just that this season, these relegation prone teams, they just need to get a win or a draw here and there, and then they can totally escape because not a lot of points separate the 10th position from the rock bottom. Of course, Elche are like at rock bottom, there's no hope for them. But the rest of the teams, they're all almost like equal standing, and just a few mistakes here and there could cost them the season.
Exactly, exactly. That's just true, man. That's true. So that's the thing. Like, when they fight relegation, everything is on the table. So that's why I really, get worried about these people, especially, when it comes to a team like, Getafe, and who have the tools, and they know how to actually get things out of, So I think, and also it's a Madrid derby as well. So, let's
Yeah,
not forget that. So, and as they say, like when it's always a derby, like the form goes out the window and anything can literally happen. So yeah, why not?
yeah, man. Totally. And I guess there's not a lot other things to talk about Getafe, man. And it's just, we just know for a fact that they're going to come out swinging, and we might need to weather the storm here and there, but shouldn't be too much trouble. Hopefully, like our starters will get a lot of rest, and Slotty doesn't have to worry about pushing his eyebrows up too much, and we should have a solid game. But before we head into the lineups, shouldn't we discuss the Milan derby, man? What happened in the first leg?
Man, AC Milan forgot how to play for the first 20 minutes, man.
Yeah,
Fuck, man, that was crazy, honestly. Like AC forget how to play. They forgot how to play for the first 20 minutes, man. And the point is, home advantage was theirs now.
yeah.
You understand? That was the home advantage, and next week it's gonna be home advantage to Inter. But I mean, granted, it's at the same stadium, you understand? Well, like
But
I
it's
mean,
going to
I'm
be a
in
totally
the
different atmosphere. It doesn't matter.
definitely, that's true. That's true. That's true. But I don't know, man. I actually felt like, Inter should have won this game by 4 or 5 goals.
Easy, easy.
Honestly, yeah, honestly, there was a penalty that was, cancelled, which was crazy, because I totally felt like, that was a legit penalty, like Simon Kerr, and together with
Bro,
Kaya Tomori.
yeah, in real time, it totally looked like there was contact, but then in the slow-mo, even I wasn't sure at that point.
Bro, there was contact, man, but I just felt like he felt like the contact wasn't enough. But the point is, when you're going at full, this is the problem, when you have with referees that didn't play the game. You understand? They don't understand that when you're going in full flight, any small of notch, especially when on your either your high how should I say, the higher side of your feet or like your thighs, totally creates a lot of misbalance.
Mm.
I don't know why it's difficult for them to understand this, but honestly, I feel like that wasn't okay. So the thing is this: if he had not given it in real time, and if the VAR reviewed it and they didn't give a penalty, I would have been cool, because I'll be like, okay, like there's no obvious and something, there wasn't any obvious error and stuff like that. But he had given it in real time, and then VAR overturned it. Because the point is, when you slow down these contacts, they will always look, embellished on the side of the attacker. You
Yeah.
understand? So this is why, like, you will always feel like it's not a pen, it's not a pen. But honestly, like, I felt like that was a pen. And
Mm.
then we had the shot from Chalanova, man. Holy God. That
Oof.
shot was a sweet pizza, man. Honestly, it was a sweet pizza, man. Wow. I really felt Inter should have been at least 4-0 up in this game, because even after the shot rebounded, like Inter still had the chance
Yeah.
to still get something out of that shot in specific, but they still couldn't get anything out of it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the game, like Tonali had a good shot against the Barras. Also, Milan will also make a claim that they could have gotten something out of it. Well, I think it's true with at 2-0, like there's still a lot for Milan to play for, because when if they can get a fit and fire, okay, not fit and fire, but at least a fit Leao back, he gives them a lot of things, because the point is yesterday Inter weren't bothered about anything. No one was pushing them back. There wasn't anything, and Diaz was just there rolling on the floor.
Yeah.
Every small contact he falls down. I don't know like what he thinks. I mean, he's been playing in Italy for 2 years now, or 3 years if I'm not mistaken, and he still doesn't understand contact sports. I don't know, man. Like he needs to bulk up a bit and realize that he's not playing golf or tennis. This is actually a game where people touch each other. So if you're gonna roll over for every single contact, then you're on your own. Honestly, they really bullied him there, and there was no one else to play with, honestly. And Salamakas, could not get going as well. So yeah, Giroud was totally silent. I think it was when actually Origi came on, that actually he tried to make something happen. But honestly, like Inter will be, kicking the wall right now, like that. You couldn't get much more than that from this, honestly,
Yeah.
because I feel like definitely they should have won that game by more and actually ended the whole tie there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Inter, to be honest. I would perfectly love to AC Milan to see, but then yeah, just my hope is that Edin Dzeko doesn't have a good night in the reverse leg, and it's just Giroud has to step up, man. Giroud has to step up. Brahim Diaz, not really sure he can like do a lot of damage against the center side. They do shore up well in the middle, and it's up to Theo Hernandez to put in a few good balls, and we should hopefully. I mean, I just hope to see that they get a good result. But yeah,
Yeah,
but just
man.
talking about this man, Edin Dzeko, like I even saw him like leading the counter attack at one point. How old is he right now?
Yep. I think he's 38, either 37 or 38. I'm not sure exactly. I think
Yeah,
he's 38.
yeah, these players. Uh,
Honestly, like what Dzeko did yesterday was not even yesterday, the whole season. He has 14 goals in all competitions, bro. Like, I'm sorry, man. I mean, if the people who are doing the recruiting at Real Madrid don't look at someone like Dzeko and think like we didn't look at someone like Dzeko last year and think like he was someone who would help the team, man. I'm sorry, but I don't know what business they're in, man. Honestly, we need people like these guys to get us something, man, in games, like to give, because they can still do it, honestly.
yeah,
And I genuinely believe that it's if Dzeko can get 14 goals playing for this Inter team, I think he can get 15, 20 goals playing for Real Madrid. I think, honestly.
yeah,
Honestly, I genuinely think this. But oh yeah, I know that he's not gonna play every time, but let's not forget like the injury woes of Karim Benzema like throughout this year. You understand? So it's not been a plain sailing for us, honestly. And Jeko would, and for example, like we're talking about games like this, you bring in Jeko, and you're sure that the man's gonna give a job. He's gonna get a job done. So that's the thing. Like honestly, like players like Jeko just you see these guys and you just wonder like why aren't we looking towards this kind of people, in the past, even so anybody the shout, for example, United got Weghorst from Besiktas apparently,
yeah.
or it's yeah, you understand. So you just need someone to get a body in there, someone that can get the job done, not a Mariano Diaz. I don't know, man, honestly. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, let's see.
it's not just the getting the job done and filling in when the striker is not available. But most teams, most good top teams in Europe, they have multiple strikers with different profiles. So when you know a certain profile isn't working against a certain team, you can play the likes of Checo, or maybe if Mariano could have still found us shooting boots from Leon, he could have been a really good option as well. But the fact is that we are very one-dimensional with current Benzema, and I don't know, man. Hopefully next season we have a few more backups. I see a lot of names being touted in the media, but I'm not sure we'll go for any of them.
And what names are you talking about? The Osimens and the Kolomwanis?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know definitely this is just rumors that have no basis. Because for sure, if there's anything we ain't paying for Osimhen on or Mwani or Harry Kane or those guys, definitely not. Definitely not. But what I see that's going around the media these days is that Real Madrid believe that they can get Mbappe and Bellingham this summer.
Mm.
I don't know if you read those as well or not.
Mbappe. I mean, I didn't see any Mbappe rumors yet. Must have missed them.
I watched on Sky Sport this morning. They were saying like Real Madrid do believe that it is possible to tempt Mbappe with uh
What are we
this
gonna
summer actually. But
tempt him with? If he couldn't come last season, like why would he come now? I thought his whole idea was to just win the Champions League.
honestly, I don't know. I don't know what they're tempting who with. But the point is, at this point in time, I choose to believe in nothing until I see, you know,
Comunicado oficial.
until I see something official. I refuse to believe in anything because like we've been there, done that, and we've been broken in pieces.
Yeah.
We've just barely, we survived. But I don't know, man. Honestly, I just feel like I don't think we can get both of them in the because it will take something astronomical to price Kylian Mbappe away from Paris Saint-Germain, and already the fees that have been touted for Jude Bellingham is known already. So that's going north of around 300 million euros, 400 million. So just for two players, that's a huge outlay. Honestly, I don't know
And
if it's feasible or not.
plus, you have to remember we also have Hazard in the playbook. So even I saw that there were a few rumors for the right wing spot, but then it came out that from Marca, I believe that we're not going to go for any right wingers this season. I mean next season because we just don't have the space in our salary budget to handle such a player.
That's very valid, honestly. That's why I've always said like if Asensio wants to stay, like Asensio can stay, you understand? Because the point is Asensio is someone that can, come in and get a job done, you understand? But he needs to understand that role in the team and not come and continue giving, at the beginning of the season he's not playing. He was asked about Barcelona. He was like maybe, like he needs to understand that okay, this is his role in the team. Like no one is telling him that he is gonna be a member of the X side, but rather he's gonna be an important rotational player in the team, you understand, similar to the role that Ceballos has as well. So he needs to understand that. And if he stays, I'm more than chill with that, honestly, because I know that right now, even if Hazard leaves, you understand,
Hmm.
I don't think Real Madrid will still go out and get a bona fide, proper right winger, like the person who, you're gonna spend 180 million euros on like that, superstar. I don't think that happens. Because I've always said, like, I think if that happens, then some discussions need to have about what the whole Rodrigo's gonna play in the team.
Yep.
Because when you're going to spend 100 million around the winger, then discussions are going to be have about players who are currently in the team, like what are they going to do, what are they going to do. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, honestly. So I don't know, man. I just hope that for me, honestly, I just want to see some fullbacks in the team because I don't know. I just feel like fullbacks have always been integral to what we have always achieved. You understand?
Yep.
Carval, Marcelo, Roberto Carlos in the past. We've always had very integral fullbacks. And at least since we've been watching the team, Arbeloa was very very important for us. In the past. Similarly, Coentrao as well. So since we've been watching the team, like these fullbacks have been really, really important to the team, honestly. And right now, we just from what we were to what we are now, it's just we have to play midfielders that in that position, and we have to hope and pray that Carvajal is motivated rightly for the game. Hopefully it's a big game because otherwise he doesn't really perform. He only cares about the big games and what is not. So yeah, it is just an up and down thing, man. Honestly, but we need to find competition at least, even if not first 11 players, we need to find strong competitions for these players.
Yep. Totally, man. I just hope Papa Perez is listening to your talk. But then, yeah, let's see. I'm just going to take a couple of comments. We have UUI2 again. He says, If Carlo does plan to play Alaba at left back against City, do you expect him to try this game with a backline of Vasquez, Militao, Rudiger, and Alaba?
Sorry, I couldn't get that. If Alaba is going to play as a left back, you're saying?
Yeah, against City, is he gonna basically replicate the backline in this game?
No, man, I don't think so. I think Alaba is just back to full fitness, man. He's not gonna like risk him playing 2 games, in the space of I think 4 days. I
Mm,
think no, but I think Militao plays, but I don't think Alaba. I think Militao Rudiger plays because Nacho's gonna be the fullback. There's no other option there. But I think Alaba doesn't play this. At least this is what I want to think. I think Alaba doesn't because the point is obviously yeah you're they're gonna try this out on the training pitch and I know people who say oh but the training is not the same as a game match. I get that honestly and I agree. But the point is we can't risk David Alaba getting something in this game. Honestly, we can't.
yeah,
We just can't because he literally just came back to full fitness.
yeah, man. Wrap all of these starters up involved in like
Exactly.
in 2 or 3
Exactly.
layers of bubble wrap. Uh, but yeah,
That's massive.
the next question is pretty fun. So NS Sport says hi. He says big up, and he asks you for what's your favorite Premier League team?
I think my favorite Premier League team was Liverpool. Actually, for me, the thing is that my favorite Premier League team changes because I watch the Premier League just for entertainment. You understand? So if I don't get entertained, I just move on. Honestly, like now, my favorite Premier League team, I would say, are Arsenal and Brighton. Like I
Mm,
watch them and I see that even when they lose, you still find fun in there. Okay, yeah, even when they like you lose and you lose, but the thing is that because you're not invested in that, you understand? Like when they lose, like you still find fun in that. Honestly, like and really, I credit honestly so much. This is what I always talk about, trust in the process. I give people time. You understand? And I know that I'm a supporter of Real Madrid, and time is just something that we have no concept of. We don't know what that means, to trust in the process and give people time.
yeah,
But really, like what Mikel Arteta has done at Arsenal is nothing short of phenomenal. That's why I've always argued that. And I don't know if you remember about the whole thing that Giannis said that there is no failure in sport. Like even Carlo, you quoted that. Like there is no failure in sport. Like there is just, it's a step closer to success. It's a step closer to success. You make one, you try, it doesn't work. It's a step closer to success than what is not.
yeah,
So even if Arsenal do not win the league, honestly, this season, my hats off to Mikel Arteta. Honestly, like I never liked Arteta as a player because I felt like he was one of those players that you're not really sure exactly what they were, like because I watched a lot of Arteta at Arsenal actually, but I couldn't really, put him like was he good enough or like was he one of those players that plays with good players? I don't really know exactly what Arteta was. But honestly, like what he's done at Arsenal is nothing short of phenomenal. Honestly, I give a lot of credit to him, and similarly to Roberto De Zerbi as well. The coach. I think Roberto De Zerbi actually defeated Real Madrid during when he was a Shakhtar Donetsk coach. I can't remember, but I think something like this. So I
mm,
think, yeah. Well, I think, yeah, this area has done a fantastic job at Brighton as well, honestly. And also for them as well, there is nothing tangible to quantify the success. But honestly, as I said, like, I just think, people, honestly, like, they turn the whole football thing into something else. Like, it's no longer the sport that I grew up watching for fun because, as I said, it's like the first love of my football life was Dino. You
wow,
understand?
mm,
Honestly, Dinho was the player that I fell in love with. In 2006, in the run to the final, there was the Dino was phenomenal. You understand? And then they went to the World Cup, and then I saw Zidane, and I fell in love with Zidane as well. Although it wasn't prime Zidane, but everyone remembers like that World Cup was Zidane was just on a mission, and he was almost a one man team, although it was a stacked French team.
yeah,
So that's the thing, like we watch football for fun, for the intricate plays, the passes, the moments of individual brilliance, all these things, you understand. But right now, Arteta is here. He's literally last season he was 28th in the league after 3 games. You understand? And this season, after 38 games, he most likely would have 90 points. But now he is a failure. So that's the thing, like football is just all about results based, just money based, and that's just all. But I really hope like we could go back, just 10 years ago, football wasn't like this. Honestly, just 10 years ago, football wasn't like this. But it is what it is, man.
yeah. I mean, that's a good point. But NS Sports does define failure in sports in the comments. He says, but there is failure in sport if you don't win a trophy. You just plain out failed.
So that's I don't know, man. But I would just say to Yanis exactly the same thing that Yanis asked to the reporter who asked him that. the point is, if you don't get promoted in your work, do you get promoted in your job every year? If you don't get promoted in your job, does it mean you failed? No, that doesn't mean so. That doesn't mean so, honestly, because the point is, I don't know, but I just feel like, unless you're a Man City, I guess, I don't know, or a Paris, winning is just, that's just it, you understand? But I feel like we place so much emphasis on that we lose the real, I don't know, we lose the essence of the thing. We forget to see about, for example, like, I mean, you would say, okay, oh, you haven't done this. But this season, Rodrigo has improved a lot, you understand? We could see that growth from Rodrigo. We could see Kamavinga finally, nailing down a position in the first 11. You understand? We could see that, progress of Fede Valverde. Okay, it's a steady progress, but the progress keeps on going. You understand? We could
Yeah.
see the rise of Militao again. Like this season, he had very, very consistent performances. Until he had this couple of games that he's been really bad. So it's just, honestly, I don't know, but it just depends on how you see that. But eventually, as I said, like these are just steps to success. Eventually, that development of Militao, that progress of Kamavinga, the evolution of Fede, that eventually will lead to a trophy. You understand?
Mm.
So this is just, as I said, like it's just steps in the path of success, as Yanis said. But it is what it is, man. Like I can't, make someone accept or not accept that. But this is just the way I look at football, honestly.
Yeah, literally, man. It's just the long game that you have to play and stay focused and, sometimes give people a chance. If you totally believe in them, they might come good. And anyways, NS Sports also asks, have you ever considered fan call-in shows? Farooq, haven't we hosted a few of them
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
past?
We have actually we have hosted a few of them in the past. Actually, yeah, we've done them in the past. I think maybe NS might be. I think it was NS, right? You said.
Yeah,
Yeah, NS might be a bit newer, but we have done it in the past, and yeah, we're looking to doing it a bit more. But it's a bit difficult because of the timing, and I mean Jacob's in India, and it's literally God knows. I think it's around 12 now or one. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
it's around 1:30.
So exactly, see, like, so it's the timing just doesn't fit a lot of time zones, and it's I don't know how that works, but it's really difficult. But then yeah, you're right, Dennis, man. Like we should do that more, and we've done it in the past, but we should look to do it more and more.
Yeah, I feel like we could explore it again because last time I feel like we didn't get as many calls as expected. But this time, NS, if you are interested, do hit us up on Instagram. Let's just talk and set up a call, and you're welcome on the show anytime. Uh,
Uh,
all right. He also asks us, I guess, last question from NS. He asks, do you think the winner of yourself and the Man City game will be the team to go on and win the Champions League?
I do think so. I
Yeah.
genuinely think like the winner is gonna be the overwhelming favorites to win, because considering the deficiencies of both Milan and club, I think honestly, like whoever wins this tie between us and City is gonna be the shoo-in. Is gonna be the over-exaggerated favorite for this final. I think we're not gonna have a favorite in the final for as such in such a long time, honestly, because it's gonna be so overwhelming. I mean, everything will point in that direction. So it's perfectly set up for for an upset story in the final as well. But then it is what it
Mm.
is.
I mean, let's put it this way. I feel like there are going to be a lot more viewers for the City and Real Madrid semi-final than in the final.
Well, I think people will just tune in for the final because it's a final of a UCL, bro. So I don't
Mm.
think. Well, but you're right, honestly. I think they're gonna be more because it's more of a gigantic tie. But
Yeah.
then the UCL final is crazy as well, bro. So I don't know, man. But then it is what it is, man. Hopefully, let's
Farouk,
let's get there. If
are you like hyping up the game because you just won tickets for the live game in Istanbul?
Yeah, man. Why not? Why not, man? Let's give a bit of free advertisements before the shit happen. Well, actually about that, I haven't even gotten the email about the ticket applications yet, man. And I feel it's big, bro. I don't know, man. I'm still waiting, bro. Let's see.
But
And
nobody
because
else
they
got
said
it
they're
right,
gonna,
so you still have chance. Yeah.
it's. I mean, people. I'm sure people have gotten it because they said they're gonna start sending the emails by 9th. Well, I mean, all our people haven't gotten it. You understand? All my people who I asked to send the application haven't gotten it yet. So let's see, bro. I mean, it's good because no news also is good news, at least, because no news means you haven't been rejected or you haven't been accepted yet. You understand, for the ticket thing.
Yeah.
So no news is good news as well. Well, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah. Chuck Nasty is in the comments. He says either of those Milan teams does not scare anyone. Yeah, that's true. Didn't we also beat Inter in the group stages last season, or was it the season before
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was last season. I think it was last season.
And did Barcelona win against Inter on one of the games, or am I not remembering correctly?
No, I think Barcelona drew Inter one and Inter won one.
Uh,
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah, I think that was how it was like they drew one, Inter won one. I think. Yeah.
yeah, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a much easier game than the City game for sure. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely, definitely.
Right then. Should we just get to the lineups for the Getafe game and pretty much go from there?
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. You want
Right.
to see Lunin in goal, or we continue with Tivo as well?
I don't know, man. No, not really. I don't want to see Lunin. I feel like this defense needs a solid man behind them, just so they don't lose that confidence. Remember, like we don't have a lot of depth there, and any centre back who plays against Getafe will also be playing against City. So them not conceding a goal is going to be important for their morale as well. So I'm just going to go with Koto and go
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Uh,
for the
I
defense.
mean, the
I
point is,
no.
because for goalkeepers, like it's uh, how should I say? Like I think like if they play in every game doesn't have that much, influence on their. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because I haven't been a goalkeeper on their, on their fatigue. Like outfield players, like I don't know, the defenders or the fullbacks, because you're just literally Mike in the box for the whole 90 minutes. So I can understand and accept the reason why Thibaut should continue there. And also like the last outing we had with Lunin ended in a 4 goal conceded, so that doesn't give you a lot of confidence as well. And I
Yeah.
think Lunin also will most likely leave the team, so I don't see the point of upping a player that's gonna just leave in a couple of days later, literally a couple of weeks. So yeah,
Mm.
I think that's cool. What
Yeah.
about the center?
CD, how, of course, Militao has to play. Let's see how he performs. And also, I don't think we're going to switch it up too much, and we're going to give, like you said, Alaba a rest. So Militao, Rudiger, as we've seen in these La Liga games, Lucas Vazquez is a shoe-in because Carvajal is missing with
Yes,
suspension.
exactly.
And for the left back, man, do you think Nacho is going to play or it's going to be Camavinga?
No, I think it's natural. I think it's natural. I think it's gonna be a Militao Liga combo, as you said, and with Lucas Vasquez and Nacho playing as a left fullback.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. We were talking about the fact that Camavinga looked a bit gassed against City towards the end.
Yeah. That's very true, honestly. Like you could see that, and rightly so because he's played. He's been, and the Kamavinga is an all-action midfielder, so like it's a non-stop running up and down for him. So he's played literally both as a midfielder and as a fullback in that game. So I can understand why he felt cast. So this is even the more reason why he should be away from that team for this game.
Sure. Right, then let's go for the midfield. Tchouaméni and Ceballos are going to start.
Yep, at least this is what I hope. Chouameni and Dani Ceballos,
But who else? Who's the third man? That's the
Chouameni.
question, right? It's going to be one of our starters, and all of them have played very, very tiring minutes.
Honestly, I'm thinking it's gonna be either Tony Cross or Fede Valverde, but I don't want either of them to play. God knows. I don't want either of them to play. So, but I think it's gonna be either of those two guys. I would have hoped, like I don't know, someone from the Casilla if there's anyone, I don't know who that would be.
Right?
But yeah, I just still feel like they're gonna throw one of either Cruz or Fede into this game. I don't
Yeah.
know who it will be, but
I mean, unless Carlo throws out a wild card and gets in one of the Castilla players, I feel like it's going to be Cruz because he was the first to get subbed off, and he's probably the freshest one out there because Modric is just coming off of an injury. He will need
yeah, I
this
think
time.
yeah, exactly. I think for sure it's not gonna be Modric. I think
Yeah.
for sure it's not gonna be Modric, but I actually think it's gonna be either Cruz or Fede. I'm not sure who it's gonna be between the two,
Mm.
honestly.
Yeah. Let's see, man. Only Carlo knows the extent of these fatigue that these players go through.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
All right. Right, for the attack, then you said Rodrigo is definitely going to start. Is it on the right wing or the left wing
Ah,
or as a striker?
no, no. I think Rodrigo starts as a left winger and Asensio as a right winger, and I think the striker is now up for debate. Is it going to be Alvaro? Is it going to be, uh, is it going to be the main man?
The main man?
So I don't know, bro, which one's going to be. Yeah, the main man, Mariano Diaz, of course, bro.
It's going. It's probably Mariano Diaz, right? Don't think Carlos gonna call up Alvaro again. Maybe as a sub. When Mariano doesn't work out, he's gonna throw Alvaro in.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, as long as Benzema doesn't play, I'm fine. As long as Benzema and Vinicius do not play, I'm more than fine with whoever plays in that team, bro. Actually, we actually forgot about Hazard, bro.
Oh, I mean, last time we were talking about him, but he was actually injured. I'm not sure if he's back.
Wasn't he in the last squad? He was in the squad for the Champions League game as well, bro.
I
He
mean,
was
for
on
the
the bench for the Champions League game as well.
so you should be there.
For the Copa final, I know that because of what's it called. For the Copa final, you have to put everyone in the squad. I remember that because if you win, everyone gets the stuff. But for the Champions League game, he was in the squad as well. So I want to believe if he wasn't fit, he wouldn't have been in the squad.
Mm. So that begs the question: would you play if Hazard is also gonna be played? Is he gonna play out from the middle or from the left wing? Because if
So I
both of
think
them
has
can rotate, Rodrigo can play in striker and even Hazard,
exactly. So actually, the thing is that when you play a front three of Hazard, Asensio, and what's it called, and
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, you aren't expecting a nailed down starting position. You're just expecting an average starting position. You understand? So it's gonna be a very fluid, interchangeable forward line. You understand? Normally, this is a forward line that should make you excited and salivate. But the point is, Asensio is Asensio and Hazard is Hazard. So uh, that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, they've not, they offered so much promise and they delivered so little about that. So that's the thing. So because
Mm.
of that, I will not, be too excited. But I can see that that front three of Hazard, Rodrigo, and Asensio. Understand that makes sense. So I don't think it really matters who starts centrally or like that because I said like it's gonna be so fluid and interchangeable. So it's gonna be more of an average position rather than a whole thing.
Right then. And of course, if things don't pan out, we can always call upon Vinicius to, get the job done.
Nah. If it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out, bro. There's no need to call on Vinicius.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what happens. And how much Carlo Ancelotti and the boys care for this game.
I can tell you from now, they don't give a shit about it, bro. Like similar to us, they just wish that today is just Wednesday again.
Yeah, man. I guess that's it. You want to go for the predictions then? If you have nothing else to talk about.
I think we're at home, so I'm gonna give us a 1-0 victory, a clean sheet as well.
Wow, a clean sheet with this makeshift backline.
Yeah, bro. I think it's just gonna be a game of garbage, garbage against garbage, and eventually one, banger from outside of the box, and the game is closed.
All right. I'm gonna go with 2-1 with Xiaomini scoring in this one because I feel like the man has been shooting a really good shot and one of these has to just go in.
No, true. That's true. One of them has to go in sometime, someday. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see, man. Why not? Why not? I feel like Traumani needs a restart, and the beginning of next season cannot come sooner for him, so he can stake a claim in the team again, and try to regain the form that we saw he had before the World Cup. So yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
totally. Yeah, I guess that wraps it up. Before we go, guys, if you are all here still present, please do leave a like on the video. That really helps us out. Really gives us validation for the hard work we put in to make it to these podcasts. And we have to also say that there is a big Man City preview coming up, hopefully with Steve on board. And also, yeah, we're not sure about exactly when it would be, but it's going to be coming out soon. So please stay tuned for that. Reserve all of your Man City questions for that day, because I'm sure things will heat up as the days go by. There'll be a lot more news coming in, a lot more transfer rumors. Let's see. Yeah, before you go, if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe. We are also on all the audio platforms. So if you are someone who prefers to just listen to us on Spotify while you're driving the car, go check us out there as well. And stay tuned. Even NS was asking us today about if there are going to be any fan call-ins for the show. Yeah, man, if you want to hear more news about that, go hit up our Instagram. It's down in the links below. You can contact us directly and talk to us about anything about football. Farooq and Sunil and everyone will be ready to answer at a moment's notice. And we would also like to take this opportunity to thank our partners at Real Madrid Committee for making all of these things possible and for supporting us throughout. All right, then, Farooq, without further ado, let's go for it. Hala
Hala
Madrid!
Madrid!